to the show. It is the Front Bar. Great to have you with us. Thanks to the brewery, fresh Carlton draft. Craig.
The only open functioning bar in Melbourne.
That is a very good Michael
tonight.
Oh, very, very good point.
Let's go for 6 hours.
We are never leaving. Massive show coming up tonight. Richmond royalty played for the Giants at the end of his career. Brett Delidio is going to join us.
Superstar.
Absolute
Rolls Royce.
I know there's a game of footy on at the moment, and a lot of people are going to want to stay across all of that. You won't miss a beat here. We have got a special around the groundsman, Front Bar Central, the one and only Dougie Hawkins.
Dougie.
We'll be bringing us up to date with everything we need to know, and there's a special cameo.
I'll be crisp, clean crosses.
No question about that. There's a special cameo a bit later from Jack Fitzpatrick for a specific reason, so don't go anywhere. Lovely to see you, Andy Lee.
Nice
that means
to be
there's
back.
no Sam Pang.
Yes.
Filling in for Sam. Do
Yeah.
we know what's happened? Or?
I think he's still reeling from the Big Brother finale. He was
Bit flat.
a big Sophie fan, or he couldn't find a mask to fit that big round head of his.
Significant element, it is. Have you got any updates on where he is, or what's...
I heard the police pull him over on the way to the studio. He said, I'm going to work. And they said, we've seen the show, mate. You don't do any work. Police pulled me over and I just said, I'm Andy's carer. So, I'm here tonight. Let's get it going.
Hey, massive week. I mean, we've said this before.
Start with the big one.
Yeah, we've said it before, and it's happened again. The most seismic revolution to an AFL fixture that we've ever seen released this week. It was absolutely staggering.
Whoa.
This is
Whoa.
the fixture.
No.
Huge story.
No, Andy, no.
Okay.
Let's start with the big one. This is the biggest story breaking in sport. I'm talking about Chipgate, Adelaide Oval. The bucket of chips aren't full.
Fair call.
This is the most un-Australian thing I've ever heard of, and it's a joke. And if you think I'm joking, I am not. Let's hear from the CEO of Adelaide Oval, the general manager, Darren Chandler.
Previously, chips were overflowing at the top of the packages, whereas now we've had to close the lids. But as a result, that has made us aware that there is, as a result, there's less chips being served. So we're, as from this weekend, we'll be changing the size of our packaging to make sure we can still get the same number of chips that would have been an overflowing packet, but in a sealed container.
It's outstanding work.
Can I just say,
Yep.
this season has an asterisk next to it. You can't crown a winner in these conditions.
Yeah,
These are not
this is-
absolute... The chip... Do you know what I
Mate,
feel sorry for?
Go on.
The seagulls.
Yeah.
The seagulls will have to enter a hub or do something. There's no chips. They won't pile up the chips for COVID-19 reasons. You nasty virus. They're the best chips. They're the ones your mates eat as these bringing them back to the table. Even your fish and chip shop owner knows to throw in a couple extra, not rip you off at the counter.
Oh, jeez.
And for all the parents out there that just give their kids chips, that's half a quarter of them being distracted.
How do you get them through to half time?
Try and go to the footy with two twin boys aged 8 and a flat bucket of chips.
The very
I tell
least.
you, I've had enough.
There should be.
Sorry, what were you talking
No,
about?
there should be unlimited. Well, there should be unlimited vinegar at the very least. No, the fixture. This is seismic. I mean, most revolutionary.
Adelaide's gone into a stage 4 chip lockdown. That's all I'm saying.
You done?
No.
The fixture. Everyone knows what's going on now. Starting July 29, 33 games in 20 days. I mean, this is all about getting the thing done, cram it in, get through to the end.
We're going to have footy every day for the next month, and I captured the moment where I broke that to my girlfriend.
Hi.
Are you there? Hey, the fixture just came out for the footy. 33 games in 20 days. How good's that?
So I mean it's every day.
Every day.
Football, a game of football is played every day.
Yeah. How are you happy?
Stoked.
Pretty happy. But it's a lot of footy. I mean, the coaches have said this week that they're going to have to rest their stars.
Yes.
So Adelaide are resting no one.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I've got the fixture here and it says Adelaide have got 4 losses in the next 12 days. That's terrible.
Chalk it up.
There's a few vagaries here.
Go on, what else you got?
Hawthorn have been scheduled a game at 3 a.m. on Tuesday. That's after a request from Hawthorn fans.
I think they're playing one game on the plane on the way to the next game.
In round 13, Geelong are playing the umpires. I don't know how that works.
No, so buys have been thrown in, so they...
Rotations. Why would you do rotations? I mean, I do all 9 games on a weekend and you don't see me complaining. Hard enough.
It's going to be sensational stuff.
Hawthorn in trouble? Hawthorn in trouble?
Well, they're hanging in there at the moment, but they've got the Mastercard. And there's been a bit of a overreaction on the Hawks this week.
It's almost time for a priority pick for Hawthorn. Hey, speaking of teams going badly, how was Carlton on the weekend?
Why would you?
Now, this is one. Can I take you back to this? This is my favourite moment of the weekend. This is after the siren. And there's no way you can kick that after the siren. You guys, what are you doing? Are you celebrating at this stage, are you?
Yeah, I'd pop the champagne. He's on the arc at 50 out on the wing.
So, oh, no.
Yeah, that's painful.
You know there are moments in your life that truly make you happy, like when you first become a father?
Mm-hmm.
That's better. that goes straight to the top of the tree for me.
It's quite disappointing to see how much joy there is at Carlton's despair.
I agree, but hats off to Robbie Gray. What a kick! Yeah. He's got the footy smarts. He's also got the smarts. Of course, he was fully aware of the state of the game. Have a listen.
Tell us about that moment. You took the mark and the siren's gone.
Yeah, knew there wasn't obviously long left.
Well done.
Yeah, wish he played on.
Well done.
Anyway, don't feel bad, guys, because no one beats Port at the Gabba.
Well done, genius. Hey,
isn't it great when you can pinpoint the exact moment you failed to make the 8?
You're an unpleasant man. You really are.
That's great.
You're a very unpleasant man. Tough day it was a brutally tough day for Carlton supporters.
Yeah.
They took us right to the edge of believing that anything was possible.
He's had a good season. He's had a very good season.
Well, I mean, I felt it. This is me before the match. This is me after the match. And the only highlight from that is I went down to the RSL and got the same pensioner discount that Murray gets. So it was silver lining. I've turned on you, Murray. I've turned on you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
You know you're part of the team. Bring it up.
You don't know a bloke joke, but it's good. He has had a big year.
He's had a big year.
Super player.
On and off the field. We've seen what he can do on the field. But how about what he can do, Robbie Gray, off the field?
2 weeks in self-isolation and Robbie Gray's been working on a new recipe for success.
Been getting in the kitchen a little bit and trying to help the wife out. She's been very patient with me, so...
He did bolognese all by himself. He did spaghetti bolognese all alone.
How's that? Kicking the winning goal after the siren and winning MasterChef in the same week. It's just an extraordinary day.
We've been beaten by a bloke who has just learned how to cook a bolognese. That's not a great moment for Carlton supporters. A lot of people are saying that the quality of the kick, the difficulty of the angle, the pressure on him, obviously. A lot of people are saying it's the best goal after a siren
of all time.
Some are saying it's better than Blighty's from 1976. That magnificent kick.
Yep, and we managed to track down Blighty and get his thoughts on the goal.
I couldn't give a rat's toss bag.
Try and tell Blighty that Robbie Gray's goal was better than his, and he'll give you a 5-minute dissertation as to why it wasn't.
Good luck with that.
One of the other talking points this week, Melbourne had a fantastic performance against Hawthorn on the weekend. We saw him emerging last year, didn't we, Christian Petrarca? Top first-round draft pick a couple of years ago. Started to really emerge in 19. His form this year has been stellar, so much so...
Best player in the comp.
Yeah, people are now saying he's the best player in the comp.
Oh, don't stop there. Best player of all time.
No, don't be silly.
He's the greatest player to ever take. They've got to do a statue out the front of the MCG.
You're getting your knickers in a knot because Dusty, he's overtaken Dusty. He's doing things that Dusty can't.
Like what?
A tackle. He's decided to lay one of those. I reckon it was
very hard to tackle someone when you've got the ball. Is all I'm saying.
I reckon if there was a straight swap for Petrarca and Martin, Richard would have to throw in another player.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's got Dusty covered. July, let's see you do it down the business.
He's going well at the moment.
Absolutely, and I had to correct a couple.
Hey, by the way, just quickly, go out and get your finals tickets, Melbourne fans, and re-sign the coach for 5 years. That's the way to go. You cannot lose.
I had to write a few things. I mean, he obviously has taken over Dusty. Dusty's too old anyway, and I had to write a few things around the city. This one was in Richmond, obviously the mural in Rowena Parade, and it just took a couple of little changes, and there I was done.
Pause it there.
Yep.
Okay. That's the first time those overalls have been out of the bag. Look at that. Oh, you are a man of the people, Andy. Look at that.
The most stunning thing to me was BT's hadn't been defaced. That was just
Can I tell you something? That's a yellow card for you. Good luck getting back into Richmond. That is a cardinal sin.
What?
You don't... If you've had a mural up about you in Richmond, you are... honoured as a Lord, like I did.
Oh, yeah, right.
Gosh. I think it was me.
It's not you.
It could have been Matt Preston or Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm not sure.
I think it's Susan Boyle. Susan Boyle.
Yellow card. You want to be very careful out in Richmond if that's...
OK, well, there's a lot of love for Petrarca this week, of course, but not from Wayne Carey. His eyes were only on one person, and that is Tim English.
Tuck, how have you seen English? I mean, I talked about the fact only the big three have had more of the ball than him so far this year.
Yeah, no, I love him. I really do. He's a lovely young man. I love the way he goes about it. He's such a softly spoken young man. And he's so softly spoken he's such a nice guy. When he speaks, he's just so softly spoken, so nice. So nice.
He's really taken.
Yeah. How loud does he speak again, Wayne?
I understand why he's getting excited. He's a very nice player, Tim English. Very nice player.
He's
very softly spoken.
One of the other massive discussion points, taking another turn this week, the destination of this year's grand final. They're lining up all over the place. Of course, there's so much footy being played in Queensland. The Gabba have said they're up for it. The curator up there has said, no problems. I can get this ground in mint condition for the grand final.
He's their secret weapon. Yeah. Because the groundskeeper at the Gabba, he loves getting on with the job. Yes, he loves his job. Have a look. Here he is. This is early last year. And he can't believe they're in his way. Here he comes. Come on, idiots. Come on, jeez. I've got a job to do. Mate, get it over and done with. Wrap it up, fellas. I've got to dig a hole right where you're standing.
Every minute counts.
Look, he's going to look at the watch. Oh, for God's sake. Come on.
He's not happy, is he?
Shake.
Look at that. Thank you. Get rid of him. No problems.
That guy's in charge. I'm going with Queensland, unless you got someone else.
Well,
who else is starting to have?
No. Well, they're all having a go. All the major cities around the place are having a crack. But there has been a little town in regional Victoria that has thrown its hat into the ring.
Today, we will be in contact with the AFL to say if there's any doubt on where you can have it, please bring it here to Wangaratta.
There you go. There was the Wangaratta Mayor, Dean Rees. That's the Wangaratta Mayor
in Central Victoria.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're not going to put a bid in, Yak and Dander are going to jump in and take it off them. So it's smart from them.
They better have a go.
Yeah. Do they have like a Wang CG or would this be a return to like the suburban football where we have the first grand final in history where cars are parked around
That'd be nice.
the ground honking after a goal?
You're not taking this. They are quite legitimate, the people of Wangaratta, that they think they can host the AFL.
Have they got a motto or something?
Yeah.
They have. They actually do have a motto. It is, and this is bona fide, together Wang can. Now, don't say that quickly. But, I mean...
I think they are Wang King.
They're used to big events.
They've got a reputation.
Can they handle this?
They can handle it. They're used to big events. Victorian Salami Festival is coming up. That's October 3rd. The Psychic and Wellness Expo. They're not sure whether that's going ahead due to COVID, but they've asked one of the psychics and they're going to get back to us.
They should ask one of the psychics, will the grand final go to Wangaratta? No.
There is a potential clash, Mickey.
What's the clash? What's the clash?
Potential clash. On the 25th of October, the Ned Kelly Chase Fun Run is scheduled currently.
So you just make that the grand final sprint at half time. This is what we do. We make it happen. I'm going to throw my weight behind this bid.
Absolutely.
They're quite serious about this. They've put their proposition to the AFL and they're yet to hear back from anybody at headquarters.
Sleep at the wheel, Gil.
Yes.
Sleep at the wheel. You don't let Wangaratta slip through your fingers. You're all over China, but Wangaratta, pick up the phone, mate. Pick up the phone.
We'll get back to you when we hear anything out of the AFL about whether or not Wangaratta's in the picture. Don't go anywhere. There's more to come after this.
A chance in a lifetime.
one of the great establishments in Adelaide, that place, the old Crown and Anchor.
There's a good bowl of chips you get there.
Magnificent bowl of
like an Adelaide Oval. This is
if there's any
asterisk.
If there's any pubs around Australia we need to know about that we haven't mentioned so far, or anything else, let us know all about it on our socials. There is a game of footy going on right now up at Metricon Stadium. It's half-time. It's tight, obviously. 3-4 taking on 3-6 the Gold Coast Suns against the Western Bulldogs. Sexton with a couple. It is a very tight game at half-time.
Not worth watching, though.
I wouldn't have thought so.
No. We want to see. You won't miss a beat here anyway, because we're going to go to the front bar central. We're going to bring you up to date with everything that's taking place. We've got our own around the groundsman joining us tonight. None other than the one and only Mr. Douglas Hawkins, everybody. Dougie, lovely to see you.
Andy, Mick, how are you, boys?
Very good.
How's the game looking, Douglas?
What's the atmosphere like?
Yeah.
Well, the game started in very, very good conditions, but the rain did come down. So the game became a little bit scrappy. Both sides, boys, made a lot of easy, simple school errors. Yep. Some of the boys missed some easy goals on shot as well. But there's one of the highlights. Thomas Liberatore, the son of Tony Liberatore, receives a handball, boys, in 2 steps under enormous amount of pressure from Braden Ellis, the ex-boy from Richmond, and kicked a brilliant goal. So not a lot of highlights, only 3 goals between.
Who's named the best 3 players for the Gold Coast?
I reckon number 6 has kicked 2. His name is Sexton.
That's the one.
He's been very good. And there's a boy who won the Rising Star, I think it may have been last week, a boy called Isaac Rankin.
Yeah, that's him.
At number 22, he kicked a brilliant goal.
How's Matt Rowell playing?
Matt Rowell, he's been pretty quiet.
Who do you like from here, Dougie? If you had to have your tip from now and the second half to get over the line, who's going to win this one?
Well, Andy, you know what it'll be? I'll be honest here. It'll be a coin job.
Right.
I'll chuck the coin in there. No, I really think the Bulldogs can get the job done. But again, I'll say it, the rain is settled now. And the school...
No, we don't want a weather report, mate. We wanted a footy report.
Just the Bulldogs.
Just quickly, what are the hot chips like up there? Is the bucket, is it raised above the... Don't worry. Just concerned. We'll get back to you a little later on.
Dougie, we'll get back to you a bit later on, all right? Doug,
I'd have a few.
Dougie Hawkins standing by in the front bar central. Well, you won't miss a beat. If anything happens, we'll let you know. And, of course, thanks to Fox Footy for highlights from that game.
Can I just mention Bruce McAvaney, who I believe is the doyen of football commentators. And this week, I've watched him all my career and loved his work.
He's the best.
He came as close as he's ever come to dropping the magic on air. Now, this would have slipped through. I want you to listen very carefully and have a listen to the end of this. And this would have made my year if he had gone through with the dreaded word.
Now the clock becomes an issue, and when you do that, it becomes a bigger issue. And when you do that, you've messed it up.
He could drop a few F-bombs at the Brownlow to liven it up, I reckon. That would be interesting.
That'd be a reason to watch.
I know Pangy, when he's here, does a lot of commentary stuff on BT.
He does.
And I would never step on his toes. I'm going to stay in
good
my
on you, that's good etiquette.
And I obviously want to stay in my lane. So I'll just do some commentary stuff on Lingy. And here's my brand new segment.
Spoke to Sam Mitchell the other day. He said Josh Morris's nickname is Tank. Not because of his build, Tank Morris. It's because I think it was one of the recruiters had a last name Morris, and his nickname was Tank, and he picked this kid up, so they gave him Tank Morris.
That's terrible. So he got a hand-me-down nickname from an original nickname, which was average in the first place.
Exactly.
That's the second worst nickname I've ever heard. The worst, please, Matthew Knights.
Yeah, a few of them call me Butter, and mainly because on the way on a trip, when I have my toast and that, I usually slather it with butter and not much else.
And that's stuck. That's stuck forever. Hey, guys.
That's not good.
I've done something for you guys, because I know it's a big weekend, and you've had a bit of a down with Carlton. But I organised a little tribute for you. A Carlton record breaker.
Oh, that's nice. That's good on you, mate.
Cade Simpson, who becomes, this week, the greatest losses in VFL AFL history. 209 passes Kevin May. Round of applause, you bastard.
Don't clap that.
And you know what? He's only 36, which makes me think he's probably got another 50 losses in him before we get there. And I know you'd want me to do the right thing, so I put together a little tribute.
I have
a tribute package for Cade Simpson's losses.
Terrific.
Sounds Cats have got their third victory of the year.
40 points was the margin here at the Telstra Dome.
That's tough.
Pretty emotional stuff right there.
You are an idiot.
I heard the Bangladeshi cricket team reached out and as support, feeling sorry for him.
We reached out to Cade Simpson this week and invited him on the show, but he
didn't want to come.
No, he's politely declined, and that's as is his right to do that. He has had 120 wins during his sensational career, so we should. The least you can do is put that on the record. So spare there's a whole lot of other players you should spare a thought for, and one of them's been good enough to join us on the show tonight. Spent 8 years. 8 years on an AFL list. Very, very fine footballer. A few injuries got in the way of what should have been a much more stellar career than the one that he had. Through the 8 years, our guest tonight had 4 wins. Please make him welcome Jack Fitzpatrick. Big fella.
Hey, boys.
Mate, great to have you on the show.
Thanks for coming on. And
thank you for having me.
Congratulations.
You're with us.
Do you remember all the wins?
Funny you asked that, Mick. The last game of footy I ever played, unfortunately, was the ninth concussion I received, which was why I had to retire. So I actually don't remember that game. So, that's a true story. So I played in 4 and only remember 3 of them.
You don't remember a quarter of your wins.
My first memory, true story, down in Launceston was sitting in the doctor's room after the game.
Wow. Do you remember your first win?
Yeah, I do.
Yep. Take us back.
Because these are over 2 separate clubs. You had 2 wins at 2 separate clubs. So this was with Hawthorn.
The first one was at Melbourne.
Yeah.
A stellar 22 games there and got the 2 wins, which was good. So,
can you remember who you're standing next to in the circle for every single win?
Well, considering I was at a new club twice, I was in the middle for 2 of them.
It has to be an AFLV fella.
He's wrinkled up. He's been in that much Gatorade.
That's amazing. That is absolute. But there was one of those games.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, they don't win it without the
Collingwood game.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Look at this.
Have a look.
Take us back.
Breaking out of the cinder.
To tie it up, I think.
90,000 MCG. They don't win that game without you. That's a sensation.
You're shocked. You're shocked.
What have I done?
No, look, if you want something done properly, you do it yourself. So here we go. There we go in the middle. So
it's one of those Gatorades.
All those blokes, half of them played in as many winning grand finals as I did games. So they were pretty bored by this stage. And I was just, enjoying the Gatorade or Powerade shower.
Was there a special story behind your first win?
Yeah. Funny you say that. We played the Bulldogs. So funnily enough, I remained undefeated against them when I was playing for Melbourne.
Right.
2 games for 2 wins. And it was a Saturday night at the MCG and I kicked a pretty good goal, a boo-na-na from the boundary, Andy. I can talk you through it later. And I remember Bob Murphy, who you obviously work with and now I'm involved with at the Bulldogs AFLW team. He's doing some leadership there and I'm coaching. I remember he was writing his newspaper article at the time, and I remember during the week reading his article, and it actually said, "It's like Fitzpatrick are kicking goals like that, you know it's not your night."
Now, I've got to ask you.
That's great.
Paul Roos was your first coach at Melbourne. He was your coach.
One of 5 that I had.
Okay, so he came on this program and talked us through his very first training session when he got to Melbourne, and your name came up. Have a listen and we'll get you to respond.
Rowan Bale runs out from his lane and kicks it to Jack Fitzpatrick. Jack puts his hands up. The ball goes straight through, smashes him on the formidable snout that he has. And I looked at George Stone and George just looked at me and rolled his eyes and I've gone, this is not great stuff. Anyway, Jack's picked it up and he's a right footer and he's tried to kick on his left foot and I swear, as I'm sitting here right now, the ball snicked the outside of the leather on his boot, rolled 6 metres sideways. George comes over and he goes, Roosie, he said, how bad must the players have been that got the flick?
He was very happy with that story.
He was pretty happy to get there out there, wasn't he?
Yeah, really was.
He featured on that most losses list. I'm not sure if you saw that.
Did he?
He was fourth, 190 something.
Yeah.
However, I didn't realise that until it came out.
There he is.
Fair to say, I was actually just following in my coach's footsteps.
He was like Yoda-like a leader.
I was watching that episode and I actually put out a tweet, guys. I've been waiting to have my day in court for a long time. Yep. First thing I want to clarify is that in my defence, I'd had thumb surgery in the off-season and I actually hadn't been touching a ball and I was told that I wouldn't be doing any ball work for the first couple of weeks. But I get to the footy club day one and they say, no, you're training. So I strapped it up and went out there. So I was a bit tentative when I've gone out for that first ball. But yeah, he's right. The ball came and it didn't hit me in the snoz. I did fumble the mark first time I've gone to kick it. And he said I'd stuffed up the kick on my left foot, which is a blatant lie because I actually tried to kick it on my preferred foot. But unfortunately, it fell straight out of my hand because I'd had it strapped up and I hadn't done that for 6 weeks. So it literally barely hit me on the foot.
Well, at least we've set the record straight. Thanks for coming on, mate.
You're a good sport.
You're a good man.
To 4 wins. To 4 wins.
Jackson Studrick, everybody. One of our great mates here at the front bar. Don't go anywhere. Richmond royalty to join us next. Brett Delidio in the studio. Great to have you with us. Thanks to the Brewery Fresh at the Carlton Draft. Some players step into this game and, you know, they're just built to play the game at the elite level. Tonight's guest was one of those. Played 275 games, a couple of BNS, a couple of All-Australians. He's got an unbelievable CV. 275 times he represented at the elite level for Richmond. At the end, at the Giants, what a player he was. Please make him welcome. Brett Delidio, everybody. Thanks for wearing the flanny too, mate.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I fit it in nicely.
Very, very nice.
So you could come off the bench. You could be on rotation on the desk here.
Let's relive some of them, mate. You're a beautiful player. I mean, you're balanced.
A Rolls Royce.
You had everything.
Each team has a Rolls Royce, and he was out.
From day one, 22 games in your first season. Yeah. Did you feel comfortable at the level the moment you started?
Well, it's funny you say that. My first game, I started off like a house on fire, mate, with 5 or 6 touches in the first quarter, and I think I finished with about 8 or 9. So, yes, I wouldn't say after the first game, Andy, but yeah, later in the year, mate, started to find my feet a little bit.
But did you gravitate towards someone when you first... You often hear these stories of young blokes getting to clubs and hitching a ride on one of the senior players, follow them around to see how they do it. Was there somebody at Richmond who you tacked onto the back of a bit? Yeah, well, Kane Pettifer was from Kyabram as well, so he took me under his wing, but Nathan Brown as well for the metrosexual side of things and how to dress.
He taught you well.
Yeah, he taught me well, and I live with Mark Coughlin as well, so yeah, that's where I got my want to have a good physique, you know, because Cogs is as ripped as anyone. Fastest goal in the history of footy we just saw. Still stands, doesn't it, that goal of yours? Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. And fastest report. I think you got fastest report as well.
Did I? Oh, yeah, that game against Carlton. Yeah, I ran in off the square.
Just coming back to you now, is it?
I was concussed, I think, in the warm-up.
As a Kyabram boy, are you all for Wangaratta having the grand final? Central Victoria?
Yeah, no, I'd rather see it at Kai if we could get it.
I think the rival bid.
Your number one draft pick, we always celebrate.
There's a pressure that goes with the number one draft pick. You're actually a priority pick.
Let's go back to the year that it all happened for you. Did you know that's what you look like back then?
Yeah, no, I can remember. There's no worries there. I missed the hair. I wish I could bring back the tips.
You could probably still... Do you remember, was there a sense of pressure upon you instantly the minute your name was read out?
I didn't feel it initially. Like, I just wanted to get started. There was something I wanted to do for a long time, you know, so I was just keen to get down there. I remember walking down to what was the Den back then and seeing the boys and Cal Moore's up there on the bike and Mark Coughlin, they're all shirts off, and I was just like, oh, geez, I've got some work to do with my little arms.
Well, they had a big hand, didn't they, that year, the Tigers? They had a very big hand the year that you were drafted. This is how it played out on draft day.
Richmond officials were celebrating again a short time later. They secured excitement machine Richard Tampling.
When we sat back and had a look at it, basically we thought the best 2 players in the country were both smaller players, both running style players, and as the cards fell, we ended up with both of them.
Well, who could, Mickey, who could the Tigers have had?
Franklin and Roughhead.
Do you want to go to a break, mate?
We want to take in you anyway, Lids, don't you? You're Rough Heads. You were good mates.
With Rough, yeah, I was. Yeah. We spoke actually the night before of the draft, and we were planning to live together, do all these things. It was going to be awesome, and then the Hawks went and stuffed it up until we went pick 2. So
that's right.
It ended right there.
Yeah. This is your first headshot as a player. There.
No, it's not.
That is not Photoshop. That is not Photoshop. I don't know why you two are laughing. Because I remember Mick was a huge fan of you out of the gates, and he trialled it for a while. And then Mari copies everything Mick does, so I think he was on board for a little bit as well.
That's like the guy from Wayne's World.
Party on, Murray. Go to the Barbara and ask for the Delidio, and they just sort of.
That's what they come up with. Yeah. Oh, at least it was blonde there, and not the black that I played round 1 with, mate. That was putrid.
Through your golf phase.
So you joined Richmond at a time when we weren't shooting the lights out on a regular basis. I think is that fair to say? I don't want to malign the two, but you were one of the few reasons as a Richmond fan to go every week, and so was Richo. We all know my love for Richo. How the two of you? Did you bond? Did you get on?
Yeah. No, I love the big fella. He's still the best player that I've ever played with, and I used to love kicking it to him. One, because I didn't like the ear bashing that came with not kicking it to him. But one of the most generous blokes that you'll ever come across. He took me to a Metallica concert one year, and the crowd in the front, in the mosh pit, actually turned around and started saying, Richo. So that's how you know you're a big deal in Melbourne.
It would have been hard not to see him. I mean, when you've got the footy in a bit of
space, that's a bonding exercise,
and he's coming out at you. It would have been hard not. It would have been hard to miss the big fella.
100%, mate. He was a big boy, and he certainly knew where he was. Put it that way.
He would have loved the delivery, though. Richo would have loved.
There weren't many hitting him on the tits at that stage. I think he would have gratefully received it. What I liked was the way you prepared. You're a thorough professional.
Oh, yeah.
And especially in the rooms just before a game. I mean, talk us through your routine. Actually doing. Yeah, Brett, do you remember this?
Yeah, I do. That was... Mate, you're not allowed to ride motorbikes and stuff, so country boy, anything motorised, and I'm carrying on like a clown, obviously, but...
By the way, that'd be great halftime entertainment at the Wangaratta Grand Final. Just you hooning around.
Wow, mate, yeah.
Was Jake King in that, Esky?
Yeah, he was.
Mick mentioned the start of your career. The first 5 or 6 years were pretty tough. Was it hard to keep the spirits up? Was the group somehow find a way to sort of stay up and about through those tough years?
Oh, you just celebrate the little wins, really. It was hard to, when you're getting constantly thumped. We weren't constantly. We had a couple of years where we didn't win as many as we...
And the fans wanted more. That's what...
there's no doubt
pressure.
about that.
The pressure of the fans, not all of us, some of us were quite... There's a pressure to perform, and sometimes it wasn't met.
Yeah, but you, I think, managed to put a bit of a positive spin on everything.
Yep.
Did I? Oh, well,
I've been in some ugly positions before, but is this as low as it gets?
I think we've been 0 and 9 before, so I think that's a fair bit worse than 1 and 5.
Proof's in the pudding, isn't it?
Can't argue with it. Can I say something? I know that year you're talking about. I think it was 2010, and I remember it because after 8 rounds, we were no wins, 8 losses, and it was one of the few times I actually did my... I said, bugger this. I went across the road and I bought a Melbourne Storm membership because they were 8 wins, no losses.
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
gone, yes, winning ticket. Later on that week, Melbourne Storm was stripped of all their points in salary cap debacle. I'm now backing for 2 teams that have no wins and 8 losses. Maybe it's me.
How annoying are those doorstop interviews on the way into the grounds? How do you deal with them?
Well, they're good when you win because it's very easy to talk about a game when you've played well and you've won. But when you've lost, the hat comes down, and I wish I had those face masks now. You put that on, I can't see it.
What about when they grab you after the end of a pretty bad year and you're going into Mad Monday?
That's ordinary. Yeah.
Look.
Oh dear.
I mean, we had expectations on ourselves to write our story this year, and it certainly didn't finish in the first week of the finals. But as we said yesterday in the media, that there was a number of areas that we let ourselves down in that we're normally very strong at, and that's probably the reason why we ended up losing the game.
Yeah. The good news is you never get caught on that one again.
We just got to make sure that we learn from the lessons that came through yesterday and build on it for next pre-season and going into next year.
Can I just ask you, who were you supposed to be in the first one? Who were you?
It was a race day that we were mocking up at a pub. So, I was taking the P1 double snakes out of myself and had the old neck choker on. Mate.
You look a lot better in the flanny, let me tell you.
There's a lot more to get through with you. Don't go anywhere. Brett Deledio is going to stick around. More to come on the other side of this. Welcome back to the show. Great to have you with us on the front bar. Thanks to the Brewery Fresh Carlton Drop. Brett Deledio, our special guest. Damien Hardwick has written his own story at Richmond. It wasn't a great start to his tenure in 2010. What did he bring to the... What can you remember him bringing to the group?
Well, we had to learn complete new structures and defensive setups that we hadn't had before. Some good sprays, direct sprays.
What was his best spray?
Well, for me, it was I played a terrible game under the roof at Etihad, but I decided to wear a long sleeve. It was cold, middle of winter. And he said, if you ever wear that jumper again, you will not play for this footy club. And I'm looking at the poor jumper saying, well, this has cost us the game. No one's worn a jumper since. Not allowed to wear them anymore.
So what did you do? How did you say...
Well, I followed it up the next day with a picture of him wearing a long sleeve and said, well, it's good for some but not good for others. that was the one.
Did you send that to him?
I did.
And what did he say?
He said, that was a different game back then.
Yeah. Very brave. You're a very brave man. We have a favourite segment on the show here, Brett. It's called Fresh from the Archives.
Hey, now, Liz, we've gone through your career, but not many people know this, but your dad played at the top level and he played a game for Carlton.
Bluebag. Yeah,
Am I right?
Back in 75.
So there's only one game, so they couldn't have got you under the father-son, really.
Just missed.
It was a win, though. They had a win, though. They beat Fitzroy. They had a win.
Did they have a win?
Yeah,
I'm guessing Cade Simpson's dad wasn't in that team.
We do.
Are you happy with that, hey?
I'm pretty happy with that.
We do have some rare vision of your dad playing for Carlton. It's important to have a listen to this as well.
And a free kick will be going Carlton's way. Looks like to Deledio, number 22 for Carlton.
He'd be thankful to feel the football, that fella.
Wayne Deledio. Yes, he hasn't had too many kicks.
Gee, that's a bit rough.
That's rough, isn't it? Who was that bloke? I'm going to find out who that was.
Track him down. It was Teddy Whitten to begin with. I don't know who the other one was.
Is your dad a fit fellow? Back in the day?
He was, big, heavy, strapping lad.
As fit as this?
He would say that he used to have a picture on the fridge that would look something like that we always give him grief about, but you just keep that up a little bit longer.
How long did it take to lose a rig like that, Mick?
I'm weeks away from getting it all back.
So, you're standing up tonight, which is a bit unfair of us to make you put pressure on the calves.
Some of the most famous calves in AFL history.
Talked about a lot, aren't they?
How are they? Are they all right?
How many times?
I haven't ran for about 4 months, so I'm. If I could ride a bike and play footy, I'd be sweet. But
how many times did you do it?
I lost count, but I estimated about 30.
30.
Just little recurrences all the way through. Yeah, and this is just a little bit of stuff that I used to do with the acupuncture. My physio would be driving needles in quite deep just to stimulate blood flow in the back of your calf there.
And do you need your top off to work on the calves?
100%. It's really sweaty sort of stuff.
Was your license
beanie off?
That dry needling stuff, when it gets right in the belly of the calf and they find the spot, that's an unbelievable sensation.
Yeah, it wasn't good, but I thought that was going to help me, so I'd try anything.
Which number was? I think this was the 30th time you did your calf. Have a look here. There.
Too much
I would have
balance.
gone for a guy with not great calves. Someone would have stepped in and said, "Lids."
I was good then. I was fine then back there. It was later on that I turned to rubbish.
Was it with a heavy heart that you left the Tigers?
It was. I love the place, mate. Like it's. They gave me my start in footy and
you are still loved there. It was one of the few transitions where you went with the goodwill and blessings of the entire club, who genuinely hoped at that stage, thinking we weren't in the frame, that you could get yourself a flag.
Yeah. Oh, mate, we've been through quite a few years of disappointment. halfway through the year, I just got to a point where I was like, I'm not sure whether I still love footy anymore. I've said this publicly before, and I just wanted to see what else was out there, you know. So Cambo must have caught wind of that, my thoughts, and he was straight on the phone. And
Damien Hardwick have any sort of advice for you?
He did. So I spoke to him after the year and just said, look, mate, I'm thinking about moving on. And he pushed me towards the Giants because they looked like the team that was closest to a flag, and that's what he wanted me to taste like he had. So, you know, for a bloke like that as your coach to then push you and make you go and try and achieve something was, something I'm really grateful for.
Yep. So the next year you're at...
whatever happened then.
I know. That's what I started laughing about. He pushed you out and then went and won one.
Things changed.
So the next year, in 2017, you're playing in a preliminary final for GWS against the Tigers to get into the grand final. Can you tell us what was going on in your mind while you're playing that and afterwards?
I remember running out thinking I've been on the other side of this when the fans were cheering when we played. I think it was the Carlton game in the elimination final. Awesome sound. Not so good when you're on the other end, and you haven't touched it until the second quarter, mate. They certainly gave it to me, but mate, it was a bit of a hollow feeling just knowing that. I wasn't going to get to play off in the granny, and the boys that I'd worked so hard with before were. So it was.
And what about grand final day? So you're out of it. The boys. I'm sorry to bring all this up, but so the boys were the grand final. Did you watch it? Where were you on grand final day 2017?
No. On the advice of my wife, I chuffed off to the. Taronga Zoo and
didn't walk past the tiger.
No. There's no tigers there. It was So we went to the zoo and then went. Took my little girl up to the basketball court and was shooting a few hoops just to stay busy. And lo and behold, there's a bloke up there listening to the bloody thing on his on his phone in his pocket. I just couldn't get away from it in Sydney. Never seen any footy up there at all, and they're listening to it at the park. Wouldn't believe it.
And what was your thoughts afterwards? What was it?
I was just heartbroken, to be honest, Mickey. I was something that I'd worked incredibly hard for a lot of years, and then to change and hope that that's thinking you're loading the dice, so to speak, and that didn't work out, but. Mate, very happy for my mates that did win one, and it just wasn't to be.
Yep. This is your last game. It's the 2019 elimination final. GWS have just had a win over the Dogs. You're trying to keep the game ball there, and the umpire just will not have it at all, asking for it back. And you did not take that well. I mean, it's just a ball. It's just a ball, Lids. Anyway, I can get you one. They're at Rebel Sport, but it's a strange. That's a strange time because you've actually won. The campaign's still going, but you know you were done.
Oh, I knew I was cooked. I'm carrying on like my little 2-year-old here, aren't I? But
understandable.
Totally understandable.
No, I knew I was. I'd done, mate. I did the calf in the first quarter, pretty much. So. And my calves had taken 3 to 4 weeks to get back, so I knew that she was curtains.
Just so happens tomorrow night they play again. Your two teams we'll be here on Channel 7, of course, on Friday Night Footy.
Very great game.
You had a bit to say about the old mob this week, and it's.
I did and I didn't.
Yes. So that's the one quote that we picked out. Obviously, I'm sure you said a whole lot of complimentary stuff about him as well.
Yep.
They have to shed that though. And that is a conception about. That's a thought that we have about the Giants.
Yeah, and it's unfair because it's not exactly what I was saying. What I meant was that
you're on record.
No, because these guys have been so good for like in their junior days coming through. They try and do everything they can to win the game by themselves. They step up their work rate, and they said rather than doing as a collective, they are a bunch of 22 individuals, which is absolute rubbish. Because they work extremely hard for each other. There's no doubt about it.
Don't fire them up before a game against the Tigers. Okay. Hey, the Tigers will be going out with black armbands on this week. Remember Shane Tuck, you played with Shane. What are your thoughts? Could you share what you were thinking this week?
Incredibly sad, Mickey. Look, I played a lot of footy. Nearly all of his career we were playing together, and I've got some great memories of him. He makes me smile just thinking about him, and some stories that you probably couldn't share on here, mate, but he's just an incredibly loved bloke that all the boys would, when you talk about him, you smile, and that's all we can remember about him now. And we'll probably share a beer at some stage when we all can, and just reminisce on those great stories.
Terrific fella on and off the field.
Well, that's a lovely legacy for someone to leave behind. That when they
100%.
get thought of, they bring a smile to the face. We appreciate you coming on this week, mate.
Good on you, mate.
Good on you, boys. For coming
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Great career. Our special guest, who, of course, is a deep sadness right through the footy community for Shane Tuck. Our condolences with his friends and family. Welcome back to the show. Great to have you with us. We're about a year away from the Tokyo Olympics. We know there's been a whole lot of...
The opening ceremony would have been tomorrow night.
Is that right? That's a fact, is it?
Yep.
So to celebrate all of that, the rescheduled Tokyo Games, we've got a fantastic array of specials coming up on the Olympic Games. The first one's going to go to air on Tuesday night, 9:15 p.m. Check your local guides. And it takes us behind the scenes of the Sydney Olympics and the opening ceremony of 2000. It's a fantastic documentary and a great look back on a really special time here in Australia. So make a note of that one. I think it's 3/4 time at Metricon, and we've got a tight one.
Very low scoring.
We've got the close one.
Not much to it.
Not much to it. We got the close one. A couple of points in it at 3/4 time. Let's get back to Front Bar Central, where Douglas Hawkins stands by. Dougie, it's anyone's game at 3/4 time, mate.
Andy, it has been an absolute rip snorter, this game. Forget about the goals kicked. Both sides having a fair neck and crack. Sexton's kicked 3 goals now for the Suns, and the Bulldogs have had 5 individual goal kickers. But there's been some strange goals kicked here tonight. The young boy Rankin's been absolutely fantastic. He left the ground during that second quarter with a bit of a crook shoulder. But that's an absolutely magnificent kick by young Rankin. But he does this...
What's he doing?
Well, it looks like...
Throwing money
He wouldn't be feeding the chooks, would he?
I hope not.
Feeding the chooks. No. And then JJ kicks a goal and he jumps on the telephone. So I've got no idea why JJ would get on the telephone as well.
He's trying to order a bucket of chips.
Now, the boys, the game's right in the balance. As I said, 5 goals each. Again, I'm going to tip the Bulldogs, but just from the heart.
Hey, Dougie, have the rotations impacted the time in possession ratio, and of course, has it influenced the inside 50 count?
I think, Andy, the ground segmentation and the movement of the football. I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Dougie.
Hey, Dougie.
What are you talking about?
Hey, Dougie, can Fitzroy make the 8? Hey, Dougie, where exactly are you? Where is
Front Bar Central.
Front Bar Central.
I'm in the front bar of the Brabrook Hotel. But anyway.
Hey, Dougie, come in afterwards.
I'll be out there, Mickey.
Join us for the final section.
Good luck to you. Good luck to you, doggies. We'll get an update from you before we're done and dusted. Doug Hawkins standing by in the Front Bar Central studio.
He's out the back.
He's out the back. I believe he's fairly close at hand. Time for... Right, what do we got?
Here we go. Let's get cracked straight into it. First up, at Optus Stadium last Thursday night, this Magpie fan ran onto the ground and got his kit off. Have a look at this.
Yep.
I like to wager that was steel side bottom.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was not steel side bottom. No.
By the way, can I just say, is it the smartest move when you're a great state like WA, you're trying to be COVID-free? Why would you invite Collingwood fans to hang around in your state? There's a cluster. There is a start of an outbreak.
Right.
Seriously, do some tracing on behind the goals at the Collingwood end, I'd say. Can I have that?
No, you can't. I don't know what you wanted, but how about you take the Pies to beat the Eagles and I'll give you $2.20. What do you reckon?
OK, I'll take that.
Right,
OK, second leg. Hodgie interviewed Bulldogs' Hayden Crozier last Friday night. Have a look at this footage. Check out the caboose. check out what's going on out back with Hodgie. It's Trump-like. I'd like to wager that Light and Easy aren't delivering to Queensland.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Can I?
Yeah, you're on your own.
Can I have that?
You're on your own there, Mickey.
Why do I?
You
No, I
can't have it. But how about you take Tariff Trump to run a place in race 3 at Tamworth, and I'll give you $3.80 the place. What do you reckon?
Get on that. It cannot lose. That is a lock. Third leg. Have a look at these Bomber fans on Zoom. Here we go. Now we'll focus in. Check out this cat. It's got a bucket on its head. And it's a Bomber fan. They didn't play well. I'd like to wager that's the first cat that's ever asked to be put down. Can I have that? No, I can't. Okay, can I have it?
Yep.
I'd like to wager that bucket is nearly as bad as the bucket of chips at Adelaide Oval, which should not be allowed to pass.
Totally fair enough, but you can't have it. But how about you take the Cats to beat the Dockers by 1 to 39? I'll give you $1.80. What do you
I'll
reckon?
take $1.80. How are we going, all right?
Yeah, you're getting there.
I'm getting there.
Pangs just text me and tell me to wind him up.
We're nearly there. Is this the last leg?
It is the last
We're going to boot
leg.
this baby home.
Yep.
All right. Footy returns to New South Wales. I love this. And this game had a couple of pitch invaders. Check it out. Here they are. A couple of kangaroos on the ground.
Yep.
I like to wager that the meat pies were a little meatier that night.
Gee whiz. I hope my kids aren't watching. I don't think so, Mickey.
Well, if they are, that's bad parenting.
That is bad parenting. How about you?
No, I'm not done yet. Oh, OK. I would like to wager that is the worst pitch invasion by an animal since this guy. Check it out.
That's our favourite.
You never let the donkeys flood the forward line. I'd like to wager that donkey will be playing full forward for North Melbourne this week. Oh, I'm the bad guy.
Yes, you are. You can't have it, but how about you take Get Out of the Way to run a place, race 6 Morpheville, and I'll give you $2.40.
Bag him up, Andy. What have we got?
Righto, there you go. Paying $41.
This can get across the line. This can change your life. This is a COVID special.
Oh, dear.
This is do a ring around, pass the hat, get every cent available to you.
No, don't.
Come on, we're all struggling anyway. You may as well have a crack.
Mixed multi, sports bet app, Megabet section of the app, and please don't listen to him. Gamble. Have some fun, but gamble responsibly. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, the last shout after this. Welcome back to the show. A couple of things in footy this week have put the game into some real perspective. Obviously, the passing of Shane Tuck. Gary Ablett having to leave the hub over in Perth to come home. We know the Ablett family and the extended family have got some health issues running through the place at the moment. The young son, Levi's, got the degenerative...
Beautiful. Forget the rest. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
That's the most important thing. Well done.
It's going to be an enduring image, I think, Gary Ablett coming home to be with his young son. So we wish, obviously, him and the extended Ablett family all the very best. Our thoughts are with him.
Well, indeed. Now,
we're just about done.
Very kind words, unusual from you after your baby on this program last week.
Beg your pardon?
Where you hopped in to my co-presenter on Kennedy Malloy, Triple M Drive.
It was all in good fun.
Well, was it?
No,
I don't think it was taken that way. Here's what you said after Jane Kennedy knitted me something, took time and effort to make me something special. Here's what you had to say. Thank you to my on-air partner at Triple M for Kennedy Malloy, Jane Kennedy, who crocheted me.
She knitted that for you. Has she been crocheting for long?
Andy, man.
Did she do that with the lights off?
It's to cover your neck, a neck warmer.
What, for a rhinoceros?
Just burn after burn. Straight off to the burns unit for
It was
Kennedy.
all just a bit of mucking around, a bit of light-hearted fun.
It was, really, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Anyway, Jane heard what you said. She watches the show. She's a big Melbourne D's fan. And she's responded. She sent you a little message.
Nice.
Hi, Mickey and Andy Lee. How are you? Oh, hello, Andy Ma. I saw what you said about me on the show last week, and this does not please me, having a go at my crochet skills. So I thought maybe I should make you something. I've got my trusty crochet hook, and I've got some balls of wool in your beloved navy blue. What am I going to make you? A sock that you can shove in your mouth. Oh, by the way, bad luck about the Blues loss last week. It was so close. Bye.
Got that. Hey,
see,
I've seen that look. She will remember that forever. That is just the start of a showbiz rivalry.
Apologies. Hey, we're just about done and dusted.
We are indeed.
Dougie!
Is he out the back?
Come on, Dougie, we know you, man.
Oh, the boys.
The great man.
The dogs are home.
So you've left your station. What's the latest?
The dogs are home. 7 points up with 8 minutes to go. We're home.
There's a long way to go.
First person to leave when their team's winning.
Thanks for being part of it tonight, mate.
Hey, what do you think about
great to be here, mate.
What do you think about Wangaratta? Should it be the home for the grand final? You're hearing this for the first time, I guess.
Why not Braybrook footy ground?
Oh, well, there it is.
Be a lock-in.
An opposing bid.
An opposing bid from Braybrook. There you go. You want to send a cheerio?
I want to send a cheerio, Mick, to one of our great mates.
Yes.
Russell Gilbert. Gilbo, we love you, brother.
Yes, a friend of the show.
On the right track, we love you, Gilbo.
He's an absolute special.
Watching the Bulldogs too, he will be.
He will. He'll be absolutely apoplectic.
It's always a better show when you're on it. Thanks for coming in, mate. Good to see you.
Will you do that for us again? Okay, you need to think about it.
Gilbo, I love you, brother.
Aussie Joe. Hey, next week's show, we're on after the footy, of course.
It's been a long night.
When he said, will you do that for us again, he was talking about the out the back, not the corner Gilbo.
Yes. We can't do another tape. It's actually live, Dougie.
We're still on air,
I'd be very surprised if we are, to tell you the truth.
Next week's show, we're on after the footy. Wednesday night, of course, the Tigers taking on the Western Bulldogs. He could be in a nice old filthy mood if that doesn't go according to plan.
We are done.
Aussie Jones going to join us on the show. And just please, as we go, Victorians, we're in a state of real challenge at the moment in Victoria. It's not asking too much to put one of these on when you go outside. Do the right thing. If not for yourself, do it for other people if you can. So let's dig in together and get on top of this thing as soon as we possibly can. It's very hard to do that. That's it. We're done and dusted. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here for the brewery.
No, Dougie.